Good.
Yeah.
Shalom, Israel. With Ashima K. Start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Uncommanding Jimmy Hahn, where we teach blacks
Try to leave it like that. There you go. Try to leave it like that.
That's it right there. All right, we'll check that out. I should do a mic check all the time, right? Do that before classes. We normally do. Where we at?
All right, we're gonna add Exodus 3.
Exodus 3.
It's Exodus 3, verse 1.
Let me see what we got here. Verse 1. Oh,
Mark.
Okay. Yeah, 3. No, go to 3 to let's say 3 and
6.
right. Yeah, 3 and 6 there. As a matter of fact, right here, right? Matter of fact, I'll start reading a little bit. Okay. Show about the recent prophecy. Read some of the Hebrew. Ma'ar. Ani yakar ya alahaya. Abaya alahaya. Abba Raham. Alahaya. Yataza kwa. Wa'a lahaya. Ya'ai kwa. Wa'ya sadar. Masha. Aniya wa kawa. Wara'a maha. Bayat. Allah. A'a laha yam. Verse 7. Okay.
Aya Amar Yahweh Ra'ayataya Anaya Amar Asma Amaya Ashar Ma Tazariyum Wa'ata Taza Aquatayum Taza Aquatayum Shema Ataya Mokalaya Nagashayawa Aya Yada Ataya Maka Abba Yawa
Verse 8.
All right, Exodus 3 and 8.
Refreshed on this Hebrew.
Wa'a, Rada, Laha, Taza, Yalawa, Ayad, Matazaria, Wala, Ai, Ayawa, Wayataya. It's like Mana, Ha'a, Mataza, Aha, Wa'a, Allah, Arataza, Tawa, Wara, Kaba, Allah, Arataza, Zabath, Kala, Waba, Washa, Allah, Makwa, Wama, that's like Makwa, Wam, Waha, Kana, Ainaya, Waha, Kataya, Waha, Ama, Raya, Waha, Wa, Zaya, Waha, Kawaya, Waha, Yaba, Wasaya.
Okay, we'll be at verse 9. We'll read all the way to 12. You're up.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 9, chapter 3, verse 9. Wa'a, aha, hana, ha, taza, aqua, taza, aqua, benaya, yasharala.
Israel, right?
Okay. Bahata, Baha, Allaha, Waga, Agam, Ra'ayataya, A, Halaki, Halakatiza, Ashar, Matizaya, it's like Matizari, Lakatizayim, Atom, verse 10, Wa'a, Raha, Laka, Lakaha, Wa'a, Shaba, Wa'a, Laka, Wa'a, Wa'a, Shalak, all,
All right. That's verse 10.
all,
So you see God, and it is something.
Para, aha, waha, wataza, amaya, banaya, yasharal, mama, tazariyum, verse 11, waya, amar, mashaha,
Say it again, right?
okay. All, ha'alahayim, maya, ana, kaya, alaka, all, aha, wakia, awa, tazai, yaha, I'm just like, awa, tazai, yaha, yaha, awa, tazai,
Allah to Zayah.
Benaya, Yasharala, Mama Tazarian, verse 12. Waya, Aya, Amar, Kaya, Aha, Yaha, Imaka, Waza, Hazaha, Laka, Wada, Haya, Anayaka, also like Ana, Kaya, Shala, Kata, Yaka, Baha, Watza, Ya'a, Baha, Watza, Ya'a, Ka, A, Ha'a, Ha'ai, Ha'aim, Mama Tazarium, Da'a, Bada, what's Da'a, Bada, Waka, A, Ha'a, Laha, Yom, All, Hahar, Hazaha, and that's it.
And the 12, right?
Okay, I'm sorry.
I can't say Hebrew because after that last one, that's last night. I know we had to refresh some of our brothers. Even second officer that read some more Hebrew, right? Where we at, man? Let's give me 6 verses, right? Exodus 3:6, right? What we talking about? When the Lord's preparing Moses to flee from this wicked Pharaoh that we're in, just like 'cause we were caught up in Egypt back then, right? And the Lord had us. We were in bondage under Egypt, under Pharaoh that they didn't know so well. So that's why I have in mind. Read. Start on verse 6 for me, if you could.
Okay.
7 verses, right?
Exodus 3:6.
Right.
Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
God of who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right?
Right.
That lets you know right away that nobody else that in the face of this world, if he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he's trying to let you know that the 12 tribes of Israel came from started out right here from Abraham. And other people can say that, because you got what Ishmael came from Abraham, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he not?
Right.
He did, but but Ishmael got kicked on to be the Arab nation, right? And Hagar said, you can't put no Egyptian on this throne, no Egyptian. Egyptian. Even though Abraham had Ishmael, and Abraham had 7 sons, didn't he? So that's what I'm saying here. Sorry, read that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father,
Right.
the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
Right.
And Moses hid his face.
Moses did what?
And Moses hid his face.
Moses hid his face. Finish reading it.
For he was afraid to look upon God.
Why was he afraid to look upon God? I mean, let's go back. Let's go back up to verse 4 here. Let's see what happened. Go up to verse 2. I'm sorry. Let's find out why did he even get that far? Because when you get to the point where you want to hide your face from God, something's wrong. We hide. I mean, that's what we do out here in America. We hide our face from God. Go ahead, read verse 2.
Exodus 3:2.
Right.
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
It's like we read last week, the bush one. I mean, this is an odd, unique thing where the bush ain't consumed.
Right.
Why? I mean, the Most High tell him that this angel that nobody has really seen God, right. But he's showing you that the Lord sends representatives, and that his has an angel, right? An angel that was Moses was witnessing all this, wasn't he? Moses was wondering, he's looking like, what's going on here? And the angel of the Lord did what, country?
It's like
midst of the bush.
No,
just in the midst of the bush.
In the midst of the bush.
Right.
And he looked, and behold, the bush was burned with fire.
Burned with fire, right?
And the bush was not consumed.
But that's like an unusual situation, right?
Right.
That's letting them know that this is the act and workings of the Most High, right? And because you gotta, but the Most High was showing you that the Lord has angels that worship him day and night, and their job is to speak. In this case right here, this bush, Moses saw that was God, because he had to take off his shoes, fast for 40 days, right?
Right.
He was witnessing what he thought was God, right? But he really witnessing what? An angel in the bush, a burning bush, man. Consumed. Go ahead. Verse 3, go ahead.
Verse 3. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight,
Right.
while the bush is not burnt.
Yeah, Moses he's gonna turn aside. I mean, he's gonna turn aside and he'll see the sight, man, because he's wondering why anybody ever seen a bush? You ever seen something on fire and it not be consumed? Anybody? You see a house out there burning out there, it's gonna be consumed, right?
Right.
Why? Because that's just the nature. I mean, unless they're living in a whole other zone, unless the Lord perform a miracle. And that's what's going on here. That's what the angel was doing, letting them know, showing the power of the Most High, right? Where we at? Verse 4.
Verse 4.
Read.
And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see,
And the Lord saw this.
Right.
The Lord paying attention to Moses. He's looking at him, right? Go ahead.
God called unto him out of the midst of the bush, and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. It's like, here am I.
Right. Moses, the Lord saw that he turned aside. He's looking over here like, okay, I guess he couldn't bear to look at that sight so bright,
Right.
bird, He turned aside and God called him. And what would you do if an entity is a bush burning and something called? You ever been at he's sitting up here on this mountain, and the bush burning. What would you do?
Right.
What would you do? Would you be a little afraid then? Well, I mean, what would you do?
What I can do?
Oh, go ahead. Because Moses was astounded, man. He was wondering what the world is going on here, man. It's like I can't. I don't know. Can I bear to look at this? And turn it aside like it's bright, because you talk about the angel of the Lord. That's what the Most High has performed here. Go ahead. Right.
Verse 5.
Right.
And he said, Draw.
Wait a minute. Did you finish reading?
Yeah, I finished before.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 5. And he said, Draw not nigh hither.
What does that mean?
Don't come in. It's like, don't come any closer, right?
Old ladies, don't come much closer, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
He wanted to let Moses know that this is no ordinary ground you're standing on. Moses is going up into the mountain. What are the people down there with Aaron? They're ready to do something down there. Right. But what did the Most High say?
It said, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
It's holy ground. What does that mean? Go ahead.
Like if I could, that'd be I guess I don't make it sound Christian when you're in the presence of the Most High. Something like that.
Well, we are on holy ground right now.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
We're on holy ground right now. The places where they stand is holy ground. And Moses was fasting, man. He was up there to see the Lord. He had enough respect to know that what he did he take off his feet?
Right.
Take off his shoes? Read that again, verse 5.
Verse 5. And
Right.
he said, Draw not hither.
Moses was afraid because he knew, you got to understand, he was a representative of all the children of Israel, right?
Right.
From all the tribes from Judah all the way to Issachar. And he has represented them, man. I mean, their sins and all that stuff. It's like Moses was a priest, wasn't he?
Right.
So, he's sitting up here shaking, probably wondering what's going on up in there. Read that again, verse 5.
Verse 5.
Right.
He said, Draw not, it's like nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet.
That means come closer to this bush.
Right.
Look at this fire, consume it. Most now, man, it's like a great light that you see, like burning, like your name in the yard, illuminating,
Right.
And he can't come that much closer to that light. That's hot, man. It's like, what is this, man? I ain't never seen nothing like that, right? Moses was not. I think Moses was a little bit like we do when we done did something. But here we are living like you know how our people are. Yeah. Like the Egyptians lived back then. Yeah. How you think our people live right now? Just got through sniffing some cocaine, some lines of cocaine, or smoking some marijuana, and a bush come out there and just start talking to you, how you think you're gonna feel about that? Man, that's just what it is. But go ahead.
Like,
Read
like-
verse 5 again.
and he said, draw not hither. Put off thy shoes off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
This place is holy ground. What made it holy? What made this ground holy?
Like I said, for me, he was in the presence of the Most High, the angel. Well, the angel was the Most High sent the angel as a burning bush, so that would make it holy ground.
It was representing the Lord, right? So Moses recognized that, but he wasn't ready for that, was he?
Right.
And obviously he wasn't ready, but he said, take off your shoes. Like this. He's letting Moses know you're gonna have to be a little bit set apart here.
Right.
You have to be, this is a holy thing going on here, right? The place you stand in is Quadash,
Right.
Aratazah,
Right.
right? Holy ground, right? Finish reading. Now we're going back to it. Go ahead. See here. They can. Okay, good. Can. Okay. All right, go check that out. They see that. They see the class that
See,
the stream down
what you talking
glass.
about? That's
Is the glass been streamed?
yeah, that's something. I don't think it ain't changing my proof about
YouTube? Is YouTube on?
Why the hell is it on Facebook?
Just make sure it's doing on streaming on both. We always have Satan messing with our broadcasts, right?
All right, let's see what's going on now.
All right, check it out and see if it's on your. See if it's streaming. Make sure that's
Yeah, it's on
it's on there. All right, cool. That's all right. That's good. All right. So
Looks like it's gonna make a comment to the Holy Ground.
So we streaming live now. We good?
Yeah.
All right. That's it right here. All right. So where we at? Verse 6. Okay, go ahead.
Moreover, he said, I am Lord. It's like I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face.
Moses. Hey, come on now. What does this mean out here, man? Moses hiding his face. Hiding his face from, he's now understanding that, man, I'm in the presence of who?
Most High.
Presence of the Most High, man. This is no joke. He was saying in real time up there, but only he was saying the angel of the Lord, a representative. And he was wondering, man, I'm in the presence of the Lord. So he's probably shaking, right?
Right.
He's wondering, like, I mean, what would you do if something came out of a burning bush and started hollering like that? I mean, I start making a noise and start saying, hey, Moses, here am I. Take your shoes off, man. You know, Moses, and read. As a matter of fact, let's finish reading down there. This is where we stopped. This is where we picked up.
Right.
Set in the background. What did Moses do?
Moses hid his face.
He did what?
Hid his face.
So Moses hid his face, just like Adam and Eve hid their face, right?
Right.
Why is Moses hiding his face? Anybody?
It's like if I could.
Go ahead.
I mean, he told him something. Told him something heavy just now.
Go ahead.
He just told him, his lineage of his forefathers, like
Exactly.
our people were lost for so many years, and then out of nowhere to Moses,
He's letting them know
let them know that.
that Moses, you came from the God. I'm the God. Read that over. He said, I am the God of what?
The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac.
The God of thy fathers. What is he really saying?
Right.
Go ahead.
Saying,
You say the God of your father. If I say, Kaz, you know, when you said God of your fathers, what are you referring to? Your family what? The family lineage, right? Exactly. He's saying the God of your fathers, man, the God of Abraham, right? And Moses sat there and it pondered through his mind, the God of Abraham and what? Of Isaac. Now he's telling the seed of the Zariah, or the seed of the lineage from which they came from.
Right.
He's saying it right there, right? Where is that? Finish reading that. Let me see something. Go ahead.
And Moses hid his face.
He did what?
Hid his face.
And that's why we get back to why did Moses hide his face?
Well, he was afraid to look upon God.
He's afraid, man, because he realized that he was the representative of all those people down there, and those people down there, even Deuteronomy 7:6, all those people down there are what? See, he represented him, and all those people down there getting ready to have a party of sin, just like we do right here in America.
Right.
we sin, we party like party like in 1999, and that's what Moses realized. This is flashing through his mind, man. But read Deuteronomy 7:6, because this is where Moses realized that all this culminated to what? It culminated to the fact that, read that.
Deuteronomy 7:6.
Right.
For thou art an holy people.
Thou art what?
A holy people.
The Bible says thou art a holy people, right? Go ahead. This is what Moses realized, that this come down to this. I'm meeting the God of my father for the first time, pretty much live via television.
Right.
Burning bush, right? Finish reading.
Thou art a holy people.
Right, holy people, right? Moses realized they were holy people, so the holy people. You're gonna find out later on why is that so significant. Go ahead. Read.
Unto the Lord thy God.
To the Lord thy God, right? Go ahead.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
There's special people. So he realized that. Okay, I came from Abraham, right? Isaac. I even came from Jacob. And he realized that, I ain't come from no Ishmael. But read that again, Deuteronomy 7:6. Read that.
It's like,
Uh-huh.
For thou art a holy people.
Thou art what?
Holy people.
The Bible says thou art a holy people, man. We're set apart. What does it mean to be holy now, y'all? You separate. What does that mean? How you gonna be separate out here in this world?
Separate from the people.
And what? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, it's separate from these other nations.
From these other nations, what these other nations doing that we need to be separate from?
Celebrating paganism,
Homosexuality. What else? Man? Elaborate. Go ahead. Interracial marriages. We gotta be. And you can't be holy, man, hanging around people like that, right? What else?
Birthday, holidays. I said pagan.
Birthday, holidays. Go ahead. So if you won't be holy, why would you need a leader to join you? Since we've got diverted a little bit, why do you need a leader like MLK to join us to them old unholiness? Why was that? That means he wasn't reading his Bible. He ain't reading what I'm reading up here. What the Bible said, thou holy people, right? And special. So if you holy and special, it's like you got to do frying a big pot of fresh chicken, right? and then now you're gonna take it and put it in some unholy pork. A plate of pork and spaghetti. Look good, but it's nasty as all get out. It's unholy. So now you can't eat that chicken no more, right? Well, that's what the Most High is saying. Say, you're holy people. Why are you hanging out with these heathens over here? That's what he's saying. Am I right or wrong? Come on now. If he's sitting up here saying that you cannot hang around people, you cannot go, the things that you can't hang around your brothers that you used to hang around with, right? You got new UPK brothers now. You can't even hang around the purple IUICK. You can't even hang around them. Why? They ain't holy people like that. They can't be holy. They go around what? Killing George Morgan? What else? Having sex with transgenders, man. Shooting a man, and I mean, you can't lie. Listen, they out there doing things. So that's how you know who God's people are. I mean, here they are supposed to be God's people and representatives, but they out here doing what?
Everybody else do.
Doing what the Christian church like to do. They doing what Edomites do. In other words, you can't hang around people that are unholy and call yourself being holy.
Right.
That ain't holy. I mean, where we at? Read verse 6 again. I'm sorry. Right. Oh, did you finish reading Deuteronomy 7:6?
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay, go ahead. Read verse 6. Go ahead.
Exodus 3:6.
Yeah.
Moreover, he said,
Right.
I am the Lord it's like I am the God of thy father.
God of thy fathers. He let them know your lineage, man. Your holy royal priesthood, man. Go ahead, read.
The God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and
Right.
the God of Jacob.
Right.
And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
He's ashamed. Sound like Adam when he was ashamed in the garden, like he did this, like hide his face. Oh Lord, oh this woman you gave. Now let's start with you, Adam. What you done did now? What you up here doing? Now, you can't go around the corner. You can't smoke that dope no more, right? You can't go up here and trick these women into being what they ain't your wife. Until you another temporary being your wife. You gotta be full time on that duty. Right. You can't make hoes out of these women no more. And that's why he's hiding his face. This is things that they were doing the same thing in Egypt that they do in America right now, right? Finish reading.
Verse 7.
Right.
And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt.
What does that mean? What does that mean? He surely what? Read it again.
And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt.
I have surely seen. You think the Lord's eyes are beholding everywhere. He sees everything. Right. You don't miss him. You'll set that situation. Bible says, in other words, I've seen the affliction, right? I've seen what these people are doing to you, right? Of course, I've seen how you've been acting toward it too, right? And so go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to say, he saw what Moses did before he ran off.
He saw what Moses did for it, right? Yeah. What Moses do? Smoke somebody up there. He said so. I've seen the affliction. In other words, I see what Pharaoh is doing to y'all. I see what he's doing. Just like you're here in America. This Egypt here is the second America. This is the place where there's a facsimile of almost the same carbon copy of what happened in Egypt, right? Finish reading. Read that again. Start from the top, verse 7.
Right. Verse 7. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt.
The Lord didn't say, I have seen. He said, I've surely seen it. That means he saw. He saw what these Egyptians are doing to us, man. Go ahead, read. What these cops are doing to us, right?
Right.
What they did to Trayvon Martin, right?
Right.
The same thing. Am I right? Go ahead.
And it's like, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmaster.
Now, who are their taskmasters? We talked about this, but I think it was about 6-7 months ago. The taskmasters, like, who is your taskmaster nowadays? Go ahead. Who? Esau. What is Esau doing? What task is he doing that's making us cry? In other words, he giving us what is it? $9.32 an hour of $10. I don't know what he gives us. And then go ahead.
I was about to say, supervisors, those are taskmasters.
Right, yeah. And then, but he's making you fill up every shelf in that store. Right? Making you work overtime, ain't paying you, right?
Right.
What are you doing? Some taskmasters, right? Yeah. And what's most taskmasters out there?
Landlord.
Yeah, landlords, they're taskmasters too, because they make us live in a situation where you got to work about 3, 4, 5 jobs just to keep up.
Right.
Oh, But the Lord said, I heard thy cry, you know, thy lamenting, another word for crying, right? Thy weeping out there, because you know that's it's the same thing that happened in Egypt is what's happening now in America. The Most High hears our cries, man. He hears our lamenting. He hears our weeping, right? It says by reason of their taskmasters, right? He hears this. So when he hears this, it says, when it says, I know thy what?
For I know their sorrow.
He know thy sorrow, man. And he know how we've been beat down the street. Give me Lamentations 4. That's like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds familiar from last night.
Right.
Revelation 2:9. I know that works.
I know that works, right? Exactly. The Most High, get it, pull that. Revelation 2:9. That's what we read by Last Walk with Us class, right? I know thy works. Yeah, read that. That's actually a good precept for that. When he said that, I know thy sorrows. I know thy works. I know the bond. Give that Revelation 2:9. Read that.
Revelation 2:9.
Okay, he's talking about trying to describe the Ashkenazi Jews, but right before that, he tells us who we are. Read.
I know thy works.
I know thy what?
I know thy works.
Oh, go ahead.
It's like in tribulation.
And thy tribulation. In other words, I know you. I know what these taskmasters are doing to you. Read.
And poverty.
And thy poverty. And I know that they ain't giving you enough money on these jobs out there at work. Right? Go ahead.
But thou art rich.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the blasphemy of them who say they are do.
Yeah, of course. We can stop it right there. But he said, I know their sorrows.
Right.
He know our sorrows, right? Right? Because he know that just like the pharaohs were taskmasters, now we got these fake Jews, and we got America doing in real time what the Egyptians done to us back then. Right? But he said, I know thy sorrows. What you got, man? Right. Yeah. Read that. Right. He know what you're doing to us in the streets out here. Read. Go ahead.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17.
Right.
As for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help.
Wait, I know thy sorrows, right? Vain help, and we got a nation that can't save us. This America right out here is so taskmaster against us that we don't got no finish read. I'm sorry, go ahead.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save
We
us.
sitting up here, we shall overcome, trying to Martin Luther King it and watching, but it ain't never happened. You know what? What? Why is that? Because it wasn't meant to happen. You're getting out of this bondage in America under these taskmasters. Martin Luther King was not the man, right? And Moses is up there looking, he's trying to guide, he's trying to wonder. But the way to get out of this is to get out you became Israelite School of Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohana, right? And get out of these wicked camps and stop trying to be something you're not. You got to get in the eyes you can, find out who you are, man. That's way that way you get these taskmasters off. And even if you still have them, you'll be able to bear it. Finish reading a little bit more.
Okay, verse 18.
Right. This is what they're doing to us in the street. Go ahead.
They hunt our steps.
They do what?
They hunt our steps.
Who's hunting our steps, man? The press, these taskmasters, right? This is the same whip, these police out here, man. These police, that's what these purple pigs out here doing, man. The IUIC, they become part of the taskmasters, look like. Right? They join Esau, right? Finish reading. What you got?
That we cannot go into our
You
street.
can't even go out here and roll out in the streets, man. I mean, we were out the street last night, man. I had a good time, but what we saw? We saw the taskmasters out there. We saw them. This one drop of the wrong pen, and somebody could wind up in the pokey, in the jailhouse. Because what? Because Esau is a wicked bastard. That's what he is. And he desires to do what? Finish reading. Our end is what?
Our end is near.
Finish reading.
Our days are fulfilled.
Our days are field, man. How come MLK didn't read this? If he would, he wouldn't have joined us. He would have. Back when I was young, man, we had our side of town, and we stayed on our railroad track. You find all these little towns out here where they have like homes. I mean, towns that have this side of the track.
Right.
That stuff is real. Nowadays, you got a collaboration, and even it still is, it's just a little bit more undercover. You know, K still alive out there.
Right.
But back then, we stayed on our side, and pretty much, I mean, they still hung us when they got time, right? They still did that. It's like camp. You said camp.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what it is. It still is a situation where we still got oppressors over us, right? And I know that sorrows. Any more on that?
Yes, it's a little more.
Go ahead.
Our end is come.
Our end is come, man. And this is what our leaders don't understand. This is what they don't understand what our taskmasters do to us, right? If they did, they wouldn't be joining them. Am I right? Finish reading.
Verse 19,
So what you got? Verse 19.
says, our prosecutors are swifter than the eagles.
Persecutors.
I was like, our persecutors are swifter
Our
than
taskmasters. Go ahead.
Our persecutors are swifter than the eagle of the heaven.
The Eagles, man. Who represents that eagle, man? Might America, right? Yeah, go ahead, read.
They pursued us upon the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
That's right. This is, and of course we can finish on that. This is when they ran us across the Atlas Mountain, we stayed in East Western Africa, man, and then it took a long. They pursued us and wiped us out in '87, man. But you know, this is we've been under oppression for years, right? And the Bible's telling you that. The Lord said, I see this oppression that you're going through. I see what's going on here every day. I see why you can't even go out in the streets. I understand that. Because back then, our people back then couldn't even go out unless they like back then Pharaoh had them, but he said, what you doing? You know, make straw with brick. Hey, this oppress them any chance you get. You ever see people that all they want to do is oppress you, man? What the hell is that, man? But this guy, what kind of wickedness? I mean, you know, this just a wicked thing. Why would just I keep going back to Martin Luther King? Why would you go? Why would you, as a leader like MLK, we ain't talking necessarily about MLK, but why would he go and want you to join what taskmaster? Did he see what was going? I guess he saw, well, we'll just succumb to them. A word like that means to give in or to be part of the oppression. Maybe they'll leave us alone. Did they leave us alone yet? Huh? Our end is near, man. And they ain't nothing changed. Right? They still finish reading. Verse what we at? Verse 8?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Exodus 3:8.
Right.
And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians.
Well, who's coming down? Who's doing the talking to them? Who's coming down? Go ahead.
Of course, I think Christ, right?
It's God talking. Right? It's God. They say, what? Go back to and the Lord said, that's the Lord talking about that, right? The Lord said, I have surely seen thy afflictions. This is the Most High talking, right? The Most High is saying what? I've seen your affliction, right? And then verse 8, he said, I'll come down.
Right.
What do you mean he's come down? What he's doing is he's appeared in that burning bush to tell Moses what it is. There's no man has seen God at any time. You know, because if God would have came down, Moses would have been vaporized. I mean, you don't go in front of God. He has to send a representative. Right. This angel, this burning bush. Read.
And to bring them up, it's like
verse 8, right?
Okay.
Read, start from the top again, verse 8. Read.
And I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians.
Right. Out of the hand of the taskmasters, out of America's bondage. Same.
Right.
Right? Out of the Egyptians back here. Go ahead.
And to bring them up out of the land unto a good land and a large.
The Most High wanted to take us and put us in a whole nother land. This is, of course, going to start the Passover, you know. That starts the Exodus of that. That's why we're reading about this. Go ahead, read.
Unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
What does that mean to a land flowing with milk and honey? What does that really mean? What does it really mean to a land flowing with milk and honey? Go ahead. Go ahead.
A land that's rich and I guess plentiful.
Yeah, rich, plentiful. You seen some of the stuff that come out of Israel, man?
Right.
You know, back when I was younger, Israel actually was more flourishing than that. Green. I mean, it's green, man. But they got a lot of desert now because that land over there has been bombed, cursed, and all kind of things, man. But you got the wrong. What you got over there? You got the Ashkenazis over there, right? Israelis and want to be Jewish nice people that we talked about last night, right?
Right.
And we read Revelation 2 and 9. But the land, but that used to be whose land? Yasharallah, right? And the Lord said, I'm gonna give you a land of milk, plentiful, man, and honey. When you say a land of milk, because why does it take why milk? Why is he saying that? Because of who gives milk? Cows, goats, right?
Right.
These animals, what do they need to eat? Right. No, that's exactly right. They need grass, they need space, they need acreage. And if the grass is growing, that means it's raining. That means the grass is growing, the soil is what? Fertile. Right? And honey, the bees, that means they have trees everywhere. Right? Because bees, they perch themselves in branches of trees, right? So that means what he's really trying to say is that this land is fertile, it's got good trees, it rains. It's like a sir. Could you get a book for us? The water, sir. Appreciate that. I'm Officer Yarmark in Greenville, South Carolina. Classes today joining us. And I am come to deliver them out of the hand of what? Verse 8.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I come to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians.
Right, exactly.
And to bring them up out of the land unto a good land and a large.
A good land and a large land. I mean, you know, Israel had all that land over there, man.
Right.
Large, green grass. Shalom, sis. That's what I thought I should get a shot. And we had a land full of large flowing trees, grass, right?
Right.
This is what Israel was made of, right? And finish reading, milk and honey, and what else?
It's like unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
Right.
Unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites.
What does this mean, man? What's gonna happen, bro? What's in the way? Who? We got some heathenistic nations in the way to get to this milk and honey, right? The Lord said so. I mean, you know, in other words, we had to fight Africans up in here. Lord knows the Perizzites, Hivites, Jebusites. These were all different. I do know most of them were Africans up in there, and some Asian nations. I don't know, but all of them heathens.
Right.
We had to fight through this stuff, right? You think they just walked in there and said, "Oh, you know, we're gonna give you this land because you're gonna earn this," you know? And because they wandered around, you know, when they came down with Moses. I did have a story, but you know, look, after they wandered, you know, they had gotten so far from the Lord till they made all of the progenitors from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob all the way up to the child, except for Jacob, except for Joshua, I'm thinking. Right. I think it's Caleb too. Joshua. All of them died in the wilderness. Right. They never reached the milk and honey land. But the Most High, finish reading that again. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's like
yes, Sister Isra. Let's clap it up. Also 1,000 Yarmah, right? And Sister Isra and Aisha PK Sabbath service class. Always good to have our visitors here, man. Supporting. Go ahead, finish reading. I'm sorry.
Until a land flowing with milk and honey,
Right.
unto the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites,
Mhm.
and the Hivites, and the Jebusites.
See, I used to wonder, I said, what they doing up in the land? Because they had homestead.
Right.
They just set up, just like you see some land nowadays. You go back to like a lot of people, like you go out west, but when who really owned America's lands out there? The Gad, right? Reuben, all our tribes out there. But what the Esau did, the oppressor did, he went out there and land grabbed.
Right.
And they used to ride horses and throw a rock and perch in the ground. This is my land here.
Right.
And here we are slaves back up in here. So you got some such. Yeah, we had land. They just took the land, man. Just like you see right here. Just like the Amorites and the Hivites, they just went up there and just sat there because the Lord didn't want them there.
Right.
That was our land. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to say that they don't understand that land was reserved. So land blew up on the way. Yeah.
That land was reserved until the children of Israel get right.
Right.
Or partially trying to get right. The Lord said, look, I'm just tired of looking at y'all. I'm standing up here in Pharaoh's land. So this ain't y'all land. Y'all ain't no Africa. That let you know that we ain't Africa.
Right.
That let you know the Lord had to get you. See, everybody got their lands, man. Arab got their lands. Egyptians got their land. Who else? Moab, Ammon. Where our land at? Well, it was Israel. All right. America showing us. It's a place where we ain't it. This ain't our land. That's it. It was,
right.
But then this our place is Israel, man. We had to flee across the oceans to get here, and then the oppressor, he took the land.
Right.
The same thing we're seeing here. The Canaanites and Hittites, they took that land over there and just sat down there and perched, right?
Yeah.
But finish reading. I'm sorry, verse 9.
Verse 9.
Right.
Exodus 3 and 9. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel.
The cry of who?
The children of Israel.
Is he talking about the cry of Moab? The cry of who?
Of Israel.
The cry of the Ammonites?
Of Israel.
The cry of the Africans?
Israel.
He's talking about Yasharallah,
Right.
Israel. That's why you got to pay attention to read this Bible. You don't nobody know how to read this Bible correctly unless you get an education.
Right.
And the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians under Commander Joey Hanna. When he said the children of Israel, the Bible is very explicit about saying that because the children of Israel, what we just read in Deuteronomy 76,
right.
It said that we are the chosen people. So the Most High letting Moses know, man, this is your lineage. This is going to be your land, right? These are your people. Where Aaron at? We'll get to that. We read that story. What was Aaron doing? Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
The cry of the children of Israel is
Right.
come up unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them.
Oppress them, man. What is oppression, man? Anybody know that definition? What is oppression? What really is oppression? Anybody in the audience? What is oppression?
It's like,
Go ahead.
oppression is this is the definition of oppression in the Oxford Language Dictionary.
Go ahead.
It means prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment or control. Persecution, abuse.
Prolonged, right?
Right.
Not just a little bit. Prolonged what?
Prolonged, cruel,
Right.
or unjust treatment.
Cruel or unjust treatment. That's what they were doing back in Egypt, and that's exactly what they're doing right now, ain't it?
Right.
Prolonged cruel. I mean, how long this gonna last, man?
Right.
I mean, how long they should have. The Lord didn't ever tell them to. They didn't say to go and oppress these people forever,
Right.
Or do some of the things they did to us. You wouldn't even do to a dog,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Read that verse again, man.
Right.
Now what?
It's like, now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them.
Yeah, he's the Most High seen this oppression. He's seen this prolonged what? Now, y'all?
Prolonged, cruel, and unjust treatment.
I've seen this prolonged, cruel, and unjust treatment.
Right.
I've seen this. I've seen the Trayvon Martins in the street.
Right.
I've seen the George Floyd's getting knees on the neck. I've seen this. The Most High said, I've seen this now. He said, I've seen. I've seen the oppression where who else got killed out there?
See Sandra Bland?
Who?
Sandra Bland.
Sandra Bland, yeah.
Philando Castile.
I've seen Philando Castile, man.
Right.
I've seen who else?
So many of them.
It's hard to say. It's so many. It's so many that it's hard. Yeah, you're right. I've seen the suppression though. Just prolonged. Read that again, though, y'all. The prolonged what?
Prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment.
I've seen the prolonged, cruel, and unjust treatment that we've been getting.
Right.
The most I've seen this. You think the Lord don't see this? Right?
It's like,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
These other nations seem
Mm-hmm.
think otherwise, that he don't see.
Elaborate.
They continue to do to prolong our oppression
Mm-hmm.
and do these unjust acts against the Lord's people.
What unjust acts are they doing?
Hold themselves not guilty for murder. You know what I'm saying?
They hold himself. I find that text. They hold himself not guilty, right? I've seen this, right? I've seen what they're doing.
Right.
I've seen what they're doing. And give me Proverbs 15:3, man, y'all. We're gonna show you how the Most High see things. He's a this is you don't just do something and the Lord don't see it. You don't just get away with it, or that's what they think. You know, these oppressors out here think that the Most High don't see this. Read, what's it? Yeah, Proverbs 15:3. Listen. I think it's 15:3. Yeah. You got it?
This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3.
Read.
The eyes of the Lord are, it's like the eyes of the Lord are in every place.
In every place.
Right.
He's seen. Finish reading.
Behold the evil and the good.
He's beholding the evil and the what?
And the good.
The what?
And the good.
The evil and the good. The
Right.
Lord has seen. He's seen what people do. You know, I've seen the suppression, right? Read that again. I'm sorry.
The eyes of the Lord are in every place.
Because he's got angels everywhere, perched everywhere, man. They looking. He's saying, right? Let's clap up for the Most High. Most High sees the evil and the good, right? Give me Proverbs 5:21. I believe. I think that's what I want. Sure, yeah. But the Lord sees this, so you ain't gonna get away from here killing people. You know that's why the Most High put this cell phone. I said, let me show these people here a little bit more. Hold on, what you got? What you got?
Proverbs chapter 5, verse 21.
What that say?
For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord.
Yeah.
And he
Example.
pondereth all his going.
Yeah, the Lord sees all the goings of man. Man, see what's going on down there. Don't you think he don't? Don't you? You think you're gonna get away with something, right? The Most High says the eyes of the Lord are everywhere. You know, he didn't say some places. Oh, there's some place where you can get. I think there was a guy, I can't remember, I don't have a literature on this, but I think it was a Heinz ketchup guy, wanted to be buried 6 feet underground, lower than the 6 feet, and then put concrete over it. So the reservation company, that the Most High can't see him, some foolishness they had. White people do everything, right? Oh, I don't want to be seen. Listen, Most High gonna bust that concrete open and come and get you, you know, long dead. You gonna wear there's some judgment you gonna get. Wake him on up. Get on up from here.
Right.
But he talking about his eyes. Talking about how the Lord can't see us.
Right.
You know, that's what they believe, man. You know, they think that the Lord's eyes everywhere, man. He sees. Read that again. Where we at?
No.
Verse 9?
No, we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me.
Right.
I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them.
Finish reading. Exactly.
Verse 10.
Right.
Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh.
He gonna do what?
Send thee unto Pharaoh.
Most High setting this up, so he gonna get ready to get you out of this. And that's what we do when we go out to the camp here. We're sent out here to all this whole America to teach what? To teach that the blacks and Spanish. We here for our people, man. He's gonna go to Pharaoh and let it. Moses gonna go to Pharaoh and what he's gonna tell him. Finish reading.
That thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
And how do you do it? When we go to camp, what do we teach? We teaching what? Go ahead.
Teaching that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people are God's chosen people according to the Bible, and it's really like we also bringing out who our oppressor is.
That's right. That's right. And that bore the same thing was going on in verse 10. You say you're gonna go to Pharaoh and tell him that you ain't gonna run my people. I see what you're doing, my people. You ain't nobody. That's what he's basically saying. He's just saying that I am the God of these people here. I am the God. I'm their chosen. I'm their father. I'm the big daddy. I'm the father. That's what he's saying. In other words, you've been beating up on my children. Now what?
Right.
And so I'm getting ready to give you how many plagues? You're gonna put some plagues up in here, right? Finish reading up in here. Verse what?
Verse
11?
11.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Moses said unto God, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh?
Now wait, what are you doing? Now, you just got through saying a burning bush, right? A burning wide bush. The angel of the Lord appeared and he turned it away from it because it's so bright. He's scared. Took his shoes off. He fasted 4 days, shaking, sitting up there wondering. And he did. And he said, "What? What did Moses say?
Who am I that I should go into Pharaoh?
Who am I?" Moses, it's like, who are you to go to camp? Right? Who am I to go to camp and tell these people out here? That's basically what this is saying. And the Most High said, I'm going to give you some knowledge. I'm going to give you some understanding. And who am I? Finish reading that.
That I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel.
That I should go out here and tell these wicked cops out here to stop. Take your foot off George Floyd's neck.
Right.
Who am I? Well, that's because we're the children of royal priesthood, the chosen generation. That's who we are, right? Finish reading.
Verse 12.
I'm sorry. Go. Read that again. Let's make sure I understand. Verse 11. Go ahead.
And Moses said unto God,
Right.
Who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh,
Right.
and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?
And that's he's letting them know that who am I? He's letting them know, this northern nation can say that they are the children of Israel.
Right.
Didn't we talk about that last night?
Right.
Northern nation. I told you this is what we watch Uncle Doc's class. I set it up for a Sabbath service.
Right.
So we can read and understand these words. Right? Speaking in class, right, Sister Eisenman? I know, sis. But that's what it is.
Right.
No other nation is Israel but us.
Right.
We are Israel. We're the 12 tribes, right? So Moses was a little kind of nervous and scared, like we are. You go to camp for the first time. What happened? Talk to me, man. When you go to camp for the first time, how you feeling? Like, how you feeling now, y'all? You go to camp, you don't. The Lord said, you kind of nervous, ain't you? Because you're saying, who am I to say this? And then you start getting bold, right?
Right.
And that's what happens, right? But that's what Moses was saying. Who am I? I ain't nobody. Yeah. Let's think for a second now. Moses then been up and saw the representation of God. His eyes are beholding everywhere in a burning bush. And Moses asking the question, Who am I?
Right.
Think about that. That's what you got to think about. Who am I? Who are you? I'm showing you that nobody else in the wide world has seen but you, Moses. Think about that. The Lord chose you out of all those people out here that did the universal school, Israelite school, universal practical knowledge, right? Under command of Johanna. And you ask, who are you?
Right.
Man, you are a royal priesthood. But Moses didn't. He realized that, but he was a little nervous, but a little scared. Like I said, you can almost say, like, when you go to camp the first time, you get ready to teach, you're scared, man.
Right.
You're nervous, right? When you come to school, even some of the sisters, they come to the school, they nervous, they kind of little like scared, right? Then all of a sudden you get used to it.
Right.
And that's the way it's going. You know why? Because you'll have a facsimile of following the commandments. Right. And you're doing it over and over again. That's what makes us bold, right?
Right.
That's where we get that from. Well, that's where we get that vibe from. That's called a vibe. Am I right, Officer? Am I right, Officer Yarma? That's where they explain that vibe for us. That's when you get a vibe to do things the correct way in the spirit of the Most High.
Yeah, it's the spirit of the Lord. So
Spirit of the
like the book of Revelation say that them men dressed in robe will have the Lord's name written on their forehead.
Yeah,
right.
Everything they think to do,
Right.
they do it in the way of the Lord. When you wake up in the morning, what you dress,
Damn
how
right.
you talk,
That's what I'm talking
about.
Right.
Right.
Just do it with the Lord's name on your mind.
Right. That's exactly right. That's the spirit. You clap it up. Officer Yarma. That's what I'm saying. That's what you get. When you go out here to camp, man, you get used to this. You wake it up. You got the sisters that cook you some biscuits, man. You going out there, you stepping up. You stepping up. You ain't scared no more. But you ain't gonna say, who am I?
Right.
Nah, you got as a matter of fact, you growing in that wisdom, and you got that vibe, that spirit on you, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's like Officer J.R. Mark said,
Right.
Go back to Christ said put on the whole armor of God.
Find that. Put on the whole armor of God, right? The whole armor, not part of that. You
Right.
be ready. Put on the whole armor of God. That means your war belt, your vibe,
Right.
all of that's part of it. Your crown, your sword, that Bible sharpened, know those texts. Find that. Put on the whole armor of God. You got that? You find it. You bring it up. It makes sense. I'm gonna make you find it now. Go ahead. We'll wait. The whole armor of God. Read that.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10.
Read.
This is Ephesians chapter
Read
6.
loud, Papa. Read it. I'll let you know what you got.
That ain't
Come on, find that for me, officers. Come on. Y'all might. Put on the what? The whole armor of God, right?
Right.
Give me Ephesians 6 and 1, right? 6 and 11. Give me Ephesians 6 and 11.
yeah.
Ephesians 6 and 11.
It's Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God.
Put on the what?
Put on the whole armor of God.
Put on part of the armor.
Whole armor of God.
This is what y'all was talking about. Put on the whole armor, man. Put on that vibe. Go ahead. Put on everything the Most High gave you. Go ahead, read.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles
The
of
wiles.
the devil.
The wiles
Right.
of the devil, man. Sis, you stay with us? You good?
I was going to drop off those because I'm not going to think.
Oh. All right. All right. Appreciate that, sis. Put on the whole armor of God that we would what?
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
The wild, the devil wild. Put on that whole armor, man. Put on the whole armor because you're gonna need it. You don't gonna go out there in camp, man, being partial, like wondering. Like, and this was Moses. Who am I? The Most High said, I'm gonna equip you to go up there and whip Pharaoh. That's what he's saying. I'll equip. You think the Most High is gonna tell Moses to go somewhere, and I will come therefore, and I will send you unto Pharaoh, verse 10, and he ain't gonna give him the armor that he needs?
Right.
Please. Nigga, please. Most High is equipped to give you what you need. He's gonna give that for you.
It's like
No, go ahead.
He ain't gonna send you out to war with nothing to fight to defend yourself with.
That's right. That's right. And the men above you gonna give you. They gonna tell you. They gonna tell you, man. Look, you ain't got where your crown at. When you got some, man, wear your war belt, man. Hey, listen, wear your sword, man. That's why we teach people to read the Bible up here. You just don't come up here. A lot of people want to punch the phone and find something. We teach them to find these pages, right? And IUIC, man, you said that they ain't got no way, ain't got war crown. Matter of fact, they ain't even got no fringe. What they got them at? On their t-shirt?
Talking about the curtains.
The purple thing.
Oh, you talking about them?
Got on three.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
They could be like serious.
They look like the
That's in the gate from.
oh, that's in the gate clothes, yeah. It's because they don't know nothing about they don't know what's going on, man. They ain't got it. They ain't got it at all. They out there, you know, of course there are people, man, they just that we can't associate with no purpose like that. We can't associate with people who are not following laws. Sorry.
Y'all don't have no place in that.
The plates you said?
Well,
Plates of forks.
them the only ones up there, them clear ones up there.
The silver one, the silver top refrigerator?
Yeah.
Those.
You got forks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see
they-
some utensils right there.
Okay.
All right, I just think so. Cups.
Yeah, we-
Okay.
We'll probably have to get something next door. So,
Yeah, we get some.
well, if you can, yes. That's appreciate that. But I'm sorry, finish. Go ahead, Cosmo, what we saying?
Oh, it's like
Because being equipped.
yeah. He ain't gonna send us out there, you know, with nothing to defend ourselves with.
Right.
So,
Right, and he ain't gonna do that. And you see some of these fake Israelite groups out there. They ain't equipped, man.
Right.
I mean, you know, they not, because you think that the Lord, when He tells you an order, it ain't just to be saying it.
Right.
He's telling an order because that's how He sees things. That's how He wants to order. You know, how were you born? You were born because your mom and dad was given the power to procreate from the Most High. And if the Most High got that kind of power to make a vast universe, to make humans, to make angels, when He says something, I think you might want to listen, don't you think? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't look at it like, oh God, just say, hey, listen, you want to go ahead and mess your life up and do what you want to do and don't understand the power of the Lord, and you go ahead and do that.
Right.
But as for me and my house, we're gonna do what? Serve the Lord, right? So we try to warn. It was a time we try to warn. Well, we still do. We try to warn these fake Israelite camps, man. Put that purple down, man. Get out there, burn them roads. Every once in a while, you'll find a young lady. We have one lady burn the roads, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right now, IUIC, and burn them fringes, man. Burn that stuff. Burn those purple robes out there. You know what I'm saying? IUIC, man. The purple pigs. Burn that stuff, man. Get on here and I should be cared. Find out yourself. We know you don't just wear purple robes. Look at how many different robes we got out here. Black, white, brown. Even sister over here got on pink. I mean, you know, she got on a woman's attire. You know, but this is how we dress. This is how we dress with the Bible of the Lord, under the direction of the Lord on us, man, because we understand who God is. We know, and we see that the Lord is seeing in every place. We behold that He's watching us, man.
That's right.
We hold it because He says the evil and the good, right? But some people don't even understand these texts because it's not meant for them. It's not. It's and the ones that it is meant for, they've thrown it away.
Right.
That's what you have to say about that. That's what we at? Verse what?
We're on verse.
9?
Yeah. No.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, we're on 12.
Verse 12. Go ahead.
Exodus 3 and 12.
And
He said, "Certainly I will be with thee.
the Lord said He gonna what?
I will be with thee.
He might be with thee.
I
The
will be."
Lord said, "Look, if I equip you to do something, if I equip you to go out there and tell Pharaoh something, if I equip you to go to camp, and tell you to tell that I'm telling the oppressors the devil. And if I equip you to tell you that these police out here are killing us, I'm going to give you, certainly I will be what?
I will be with thee.
The Lord said, I'm going to be with you. And all those things that he talked about, the way he told us to dress, how we look. How's my, but the Lord will be with you, right?
Right.
And he's going to be with us. Finish reading.
And this shall be a token unto thee.
A token.
Right.
Look that up. Look that word up. This should be a token unto thee, right? Like a momentum or like a understanding, like don't forget it.
Right.
Like you right? Am I right? Like your dad or your mom give you I don't know, bracelet or something and say like this is like something I want you to remember me by, you know,
Right.
or something, or here's a good meal. My grandma give me good meals all the time. Those were tokens. And those were tokens. In other words, she said, look, I remember how you cook. Matter of fact, I'm gonna teach you how to do some cooking up here. What that token mean? Bring that definition.
This definition of token.
Right.
In the Oxford Language Dictionary.
What that say?
A thing serving a symbol, like a thing serving as a visible or tangible representation of a fact.
Of a fact, a tangible representation of a fact. In other words, this is something that you can. Tangible means to feel, to see. Look that word up. To feel, to touch, right?
Tangible means touch.
Touch. Right.
Right.
This is something that you can touch, that you can see.
Right.
Right? A token unto thee, right?
Right.
Read.
And that I have sent thee.
Who sent it?
That I have sent thee.
And the Lord have sent this, right? Read.
When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt.
In other words, you're going to be able to touch this. You're going to be able to understand that this is the Lord.
Right.
He brought these people where?
Out of the, it's like that thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Ye shall serve God upon this mountain.
The Most High, you're going to serve Al-Hayam above this hard mountain. You're going to serve. You're going to serve. This is what he's saying. This is what he's telling Moses up on this mountain. That's what he's making a token, covenant with it. Saying tangible, something that you can. This ain't no, what's that? These other gods out here, man, they don't get no token. They get pie in the sky. Matter of fact, they threw this Hare Krishna god in the river. They said, you ain't no good. Get rid of this thing up here. What's that one that the East Indians had? Say, this God he ain't helping us. They threw him away. They have a big old something that doesn't represent God. Right. And so it doesn't represent what we're reading here. So we know who we are because we are children of this. Because we can read this. Black Hispanic Nathan. This is a black book, man. This book right here is a black book. This ain't no God of the Moabs and Ammonites and the Japanese. This ain't none of these. This ain't the East Indies. This ain't Hamites, you know.
Right.
This finish read. What we got?
Verse 13.
Right.
And Moses said unto God, behold, when I...
Where we at? Verse what?
13.
Go ahead.
And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come to the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers has sent me unto you.
The God of your fathers, see, the real Most High.
Right.
They tired. Because even Egypt had gotten used to, even our people had gotten used to in Egypt going after these other gods. Right? Finish reading. I'm sorry.
Right. And the God of your fathers has sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them?
Now, let's start over. Read that again. Verse 13. I'm sorry. Right.
And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel,
When I come to the children of Israel, that's what he's trying to say. Go ahead.
and shall say unto them,
Right.
the God of your fathers has sent me unto you. And they say unto me, that what is his name? What shall I say unto them?
This is Moses trying to say, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and talk to my people.
Right.
How I'm gonna relate what I saw in this bush? How I'm gonna relate all these things that you're talking to me about? Right? Am I right?
That's right.
Finish reading. What did Most High say?
Verse 14.
Get ready again, a little bit short. Go ahead.
And God said unto Moses,
Right.
I am that I am.
He what?
I am that I am.
And what is it? Stop it. Officer Yarma, you can help me explain that right there. When he says, I am that I am. So read that again, verse 14.
Go.
Right.
Verse 14.
Right.
And God said unto Moses, I am that I am.
And finish reading. So good.
And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am has sent me unto you.
You help yourself now.
Saying that he's the Lord. Like his name is, he is who he is.
He is who he is.
Right.
Yes.
That's what a lot of Christians don't understand that
Right.
they want to get
Right.
what his name means, but they missing the point of what he's saying.
Right.
And what he's saying is gonna free them.
Right.
Understand? That's why he's saying, I am who I am.
I am the
Right.
I am. In other words, you don't need much explanation. It says, in other words, did you see me in this bush over? You see other things I'm doing for you?
Right.
You see, I'm your father.
Right.
I am that I am. I ain't got to go around here. In other words, you wouldn't even understand most of it if I told you all the things that I had to tell you.
That's right.
There's so much, okay. I think it's a text like I can't contain all this stuff in this Bible here. Your brain ain't. It wasn't meant for you to have some of these things, to understand. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you got it. I said,
No, go ahead.
oh, no, I was gonna make it. Officer Daniel Allen said, my name is my name. You got a song saying,
Name by name. I am that I am. They're like Officer Yarman said. Like these fake Christians, they want to make. They don't understand it, man.
Right.
But when it says I am that I am,
Right.
he's telling you. As a matter of fact, you got some of these Jehovah's Witnesses want to make a statement out of a name. What do they call him? Call him Jehovah. That's the only name they got, or whatever. Alpha and Omega.
There's so many.
So many things that they try to represent God. They say, just tell them I am that I am. Man. Yeah, I ain't got to go much further than that, right?
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it here for next week. We're gonna start on verse 15.
Right.
Put that in your writings there, and we're gonna end class right there. Well, let's clap it up for class. We appreciate it. Keep coming out. But we're gonna end it right there, and take off next week. What I said, verse 15.
Count.
Got it.
3 or 15.
Okay. Abijah. Scrolls. Blow the horn, Kazalar.
Start on your hockey. It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabbasamai, Wadash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malachakah, Baba'ah, Zayah, Ayah, Asha, Barakasa, Kawah, Ayah, Bashamai, Adan, No, Lakam, Go, One, Salakina, Wakina, Salakina, Wakina, Wala'ah, Ayano, Sayawan, Abal, Ayashayano, Ayan, Right, Kaya, Laka, Malakwa, Wahala, Wahantapar, Wahalaya, Raman.
All right. Our Father, which what we said, Hebrew said in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. Forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. So be it. So be it.
The power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Baba Kasha, Thana Nawa, Kak, La'pa'ah, Kal Manawa, Kak, Latahar, Amadazari, Kak, Lahakwi, Maki, Kak, Our Aqua, Amata Aleph, Lagarsh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Water,
What we said in Hebrew, we say in English. Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, power against unclean spirits. Cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you.
So be it.
Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Shai.
Rakanau.
Rakanau.
Wayasha Allah.
Wayasha.
Wahabayah.
Wahabayah.
Sapari.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Raba'ah.
Rapa'ah.
Hagan.
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 Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Shai.
The water.
The water. Amen. What we say in the Hebrew, we say in the English. Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai,
Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai.
bless us,
Bless us.
Israel,
Israel.
and the school.
And the school.
Bless, heal, shield, and protect
Bless, heal, shield, protect.
our loved ones.
Our loved
In
ones.
the name of Yahweh
In
Shai,
the name of Yahweh Shai.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayani.
Ayani.
All.
All.
Ahari.
Ahari.
Rahayan.
Hayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Ma'ai.
Ma'ai.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemaiah.
Shemaiah.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Ayathan.
Ayathan.
Number what?
Number what?
Galka.
Galka.
Ayanawam.
Ayanawam.
Shamar.
Shamar.
Hana.
Hana.
Na'ah.
Na'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamar.
Shamar.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazal.
Tazal.
Ayai.
Ayai.
Yank.
Yank.
Kamaman.
Amaman.
Hashamash.
Hashemash.
Na'ah.
Na'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Walayala.
Walayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Makarai.
Makarai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Atapash.
Atapash.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'ak.
Taza'ak.
Waba'ak.
Waba'ak.
Ma'aika.
Ma'aika.
Ai.
Ma'ai.
Our love.
Our love.
When we said in the Hebrew, we said in English, I lift up mine eyes
I lift up mine
to
eyes
the hills
to the hills.
from which cometh my help.
Because my
My
help
help comes from the Lord,
Help from the
which
Lord.
made heaven and earth.
Which made
He
heaven
will not suffer thy foot to be
He will
moved.
not suffer thy
He
foot
that
to be
keepeth
moved.
thee
He that
will
keepeth
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
He that
shall
keepeth
neither slumber
shall
nor
not slumber.
sleep.
No sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is
The
thy
Lord
keeper.
is a shade upon thy right
The
hand.
Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by
nor the
day,
moon by night.
nor the moon by
The
night.
Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee
He
from all
shall
evil.
preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in
And I come
from this
in
time forth.
this time
And
forth.
even of the Lord.
You forevermore.
Psalms 83. Alahayo.
Alahayo.
Adabayah.
Adabayah.
Ataka.
Ataka.
Atakaras.
Atakaras.
Wa'al.
Wa'al.
Dashakwat.
Dashakwat.
Wa'al.
Wa'al.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Hana.
Hana.
Awabadi.
Abadi.
Yahama.
Yama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Ayamaka.
Alamka.
Yamawa.
Yamawa.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayata.
Wayata.
Yatasawa.
Yatasawa.
Atasapawayo.
Atasapawayo.
Yamawa.
Yamawa.
Nakawa.
Nakawa.
Wanakagyo.
Nakawa.
Makawa.
Makawa.
Mala'ah.
Mala'ah.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham.
Sham.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Awada.
Awada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Yatasawa.
Yatasawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakan.
Yakan.
Ayaka.
Ayaka.
Bariyah.
Bariyah.
Yakra'athwa.
Yaakov.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wa.
Wa.
Yashamai.
Yashma.
Allah.
Allah.
Yam.
Yam.
Ma'awaba.
Ma'awaba.
Gari.
Gari.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Ramawan.
I'm the one.
Wamalak.
Wamalak.
Anashah.
Anashah.
Ain.
Ain.
Wamaba.
Wamaba.
Hagari.
Agari.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wamawan. It's like Wamawan.
Wamawan.
Wamalak.
Wamalak.
Anashah.
Anashah.
Ain.
Ain.
Nishadi.
Nishadi.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam.
Gam.
Ashawar.
Ashawar.
Alawa.
Alawa.
Amai.
Aman.
Ayawa.
Ayawa.
Zawawai.
Zawawai.
Banalawat.
Banalawat.
Salat.
Salat.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Aham.
Aham.
Hamadi.
Hamadi.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah.
Hamadi.
Hamadi.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Wayash.
Wayash.
One.
One.
Nashimadi.
Nashimadi.
Ayan.
Ayan.
Ta'ara.
Ta'ara.
Ayawa.
Ayawa.
Daman.
Dema.
Ba'adama.
Adama.
Shaya.
Shaya.
Dama.
Dama.
It's like Nada.
Nada.
Ya.
Ya.
Mawa.
Mawa.
Kaira.
Kaira.
Wakasaba.
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 Wakasazal.
Wakasaba.
Bana'ai.
Bana'ai.
Call.
Call.
That's a comment.
That's a comment.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Armawa.
Armawa.
Shawarshah.
Shawarshah.
Nadawa.
Nadawa.
Ah.
Ah.
Na'athwa.
Na'athwa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Gagaya Gaya.
Gagaya.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Kapanya.
Kapanya.
Ra'aka.
Ra'aka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Ira.
Ira.
Wa.
Wa.
Kalaha.
Kalahat.
Dalahat.
Dalahat.
Ahariya.
Ahariya.
Khan.
Khan.
Gawadak.
Gawadak.
Wasa Irika.
Wasa.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Sabaka.
Abka.
Dalaham.
Dalaham.
Mala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Panaham.
Panaham.
Walawan.
Walawan.
Waya.
Waya.
Kwashwa.
Kwash.
Shabka.
Shabka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Malawa.
Malawa.
Ya'ai.
Ya'ai.
Waya.
Waya.
Kapawa.
Kapawa.
Waya.
Waya.
About the what?
About the what?
Kaya.
Kaya.
The why.
The what?
Kaya.
Kaya.
Ta.
The ta.
Shaka.
Shaka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ban.
Ban.
I the one.
I the one.
Al.
Al.
Ka.
Ka.
Rakasa.
Right.
When we said in Hebrew, we say in English, keep not thy silence,
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still,
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thine enemies make atonement.
Lord, thy enemies make a tumult.
They that hate thee
They that hate thee.
have lifted up their head.
Lift up their
And they
head.
have taken crafty counsel
Take it out of counsel.
against thy people.
Against thy
And
people.
consulted against the hidden ones.
Consulted against thy
They
enemies.
have said,
They have said,
come,
come.
let us cut them off
Let us cut them
from
off.
being a nation.
From being a nation.
The name of Israel
The name of Israel.
may be no more remembrance.
No more remembrance.
For they have consulted together
They consulted together.
with one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
Tabernacles, Edom,
Tabernacles of Edom.
Israelites,
Israelites.
Moab,
Moab.
Hagari,
Hagari.
Baal,
Baal.
Ammon,
Ammon.
Amalek, the Philistines,
Philistines.
the inhabitants of
The
Tyre.
inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur is also joined with
Ashur
them.
was also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
They
Lot.
have hope in the children of
Salah,
Salah.
do unto them.
Do unto
As
them.
to the Midianites,
To the Midianites.
as the Syrians,
As the
and the
Syrians.
Jabin,
As the
and
Jabin.
the brook of
And
Kasan,
the brook of Kasan.
perishing in
Which
Nord.
perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They become upon the earth.
Make their nose like a ram,
They nose like a ram.
like Ziam,
Like the egg.
to all the princes of
All
Zabal,
the princes of
and of
Babylon.
Zamuna,
As the moon.
who said,
Who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take
the
to
house
ourselves
of God,
house of God.
possession.
in possession.
Oh my
Oh, my
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
make them like a
Make
whip,
them like a
as
whip.
a stump before the wind,
As some before
as
the
a
wind.
fire that burneth the wood,
As fire that burneth the wood.
and the flame that set the mountains on fire.
As flame that set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy
and
tempest.
make them afraid
Make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces
that
with
they may
shame.
seek thy name.
That they may seek thy
O
name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
let them be confounded
Let them be
and
confounded.
troubled
Trouble.
forever.
Forever.
Yea, let them be put to shame
Let them be put to
and
shame.
perish,
And perish.
that men may know
That men may
that
know.
thou, whose name alone,
Whose name
is
alone
Yahweh,
is
the
Yahweh.
Most High,
On the Most High.
all the earth.
All the earth.
Sar. Oh, no, sorry. Salute to Torah. Prepare a salute to Torah. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barak Yah.
Yahweh Shemel Sabbath Yah. Yahweh Shemel Sabbath Yah.
We lose our Sabbath service. We would like to ask anybody if they'd like to get anointed. Sister want to be anointed here. Man behind me, the anointing prayer. Yabarak Yahweh.
Yabarak Yahweh.
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 Washmarka.
Washmarka.
Ya'ar.
Ya'ar.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hanyua.
Hanyua.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Ayakanka.
Ayakanka.
Yasha'ah.
Yasha'ah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hanyua.
Hanyua.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Mashamleka.
Mashamleka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Mashimi Hawashai.
Mashimi Hawashai.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'ah.
Rapa'ah.
Magan.
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 Ya'izra. 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 Mashimi Hawashai.
Mashimi Hawashai.
The what?
What?
Aman. What we said in the Hebrew, we said in English. Yahweh, bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh, make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh, lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless, heal, shield, and protect. That's right. Anybody else? This concludes our Sabbath services. Anybody? This concludes our Sabbath services. We're going to prepare to salute out, right? Man Shabbat. Man. Rock. Yahweh Shem Shabbat. Sar, face the sisters. Man Shabbat. Man. Rock.
Yahweh Shemel Shabbat.
Yazamata. Class dismissed.
All right.